Yes, this is the two-port network. This is two-port network. If you remember this table, you can understand 15 to 20%. Okay, at 20% you can assume. This table, if you remember, okay, this is from textbook pages, handwritten. Textbook pages are there, handwritten formulas. Okay, and if you remember this table, 20% of the second half, 20% of the second half, you can understand further. Okay, in the two-port network, there are four different parameters. First one is impedance parameter. Second one is transmission parameter, admittance parameter. First one impedance parameter. Second one admittance parameter. Third one is transmission parameter. Fourth one hybrid parameter. Okay. And then other name for impedance parameter is open circuit parameters. Other name for admittance parameter is short circuit parameter. Other name for transmission parameter is ABCD. And hybrid parameters also called as H parameters. Okay. Impedance means Z. Other name you can call it as Z parameter, Y parameter, ABCD parameter, and H parameter. Okay. So four different things are there. And the independent parameters and dependent parameters are here. Independent and dependent parameters. This is dependent. Okay. This column is dependent and this column is independent. Now, if you see, you will have two equations. In each of these parameters. In Z parameter, two equations, Y parameter, two equations, ABCD parameter, two equations, and H parameter also two equations. And it is given in terms of matrix form. I asked you to by heart this complete table, handwritten. This complete handwritten table, if you by heart, okay. So 20% of second half fourth unit is understood. 20% of second half fourth unit is understood. Now, I told you two equations are there. In Z parameter, two equations are there. From the matrix form, you try to write down the equations. So V1 equal to V1. Today I didn't bring the writing pad. Okay, I forgot. I thought, but I forgot. Tomorrow I will bring, and tomorrow I will write also in the board. Last 10 minutes only. Almost we covered efficiently. Okay, to reach out to you, I have done the maximum possible thing. Now, you write the equation from this matrix form. V1 equal to row into column. Okay, row into column. Z11 into I1 plus Z12 into I2. Okay. Next V2. Write the equation, row into column. Z21 into I1 and Z22 into I2. Okay, this row into this column. So two equations we got. If I have writing pad, it will be more better. But if you are able to understand, I am very happy. Now coming to Y parameters. This is the matrix form. You by heart this matrix form. Whenever you see two-port network, write this complete matrix, no problem. Okay. You will get some marks. I'm definitely telling you, if you write this complete table, whenever you see in the long answer question, not for 2 marks, don't waste your time on 2 marks writing everything. Okay. If it is long answer question, whenever you see two-port network, this complete table you write down in the answer script, you will get some marks. Okay. Now, the second matrix form I am telling you, I1, I2 are the dependent parameters. LHS will come dependent parameters. Now write two equations. I1 is first equation, I2 is second equation. How you will write equation for I1? This row into column. Okay, this row into column. Y11 into V1 plus Y12 into V2. Second equation is I2 equation. I2 equal to Y21 into V1 plus Y22 into V2. Okay, this row into this column. This row, second row into this column. Two equations will come out for Y parameters. Next, third one is transmission parameters. You see the matrix form. You will have two equations I told you. One equation for V1 equal to. Second equation is I1 equal to. Now V1 equal to, how you will write the equation? This row into column. Okay. Yeah, you see here A into V2 and minus is here. Second I2 value is minus. So minus B into I2. Minus sign will come there. Okay. Then I1, second equation, I1 equal to this row into column. We are writing row into column. C into V2 minus D into I2. Okay. So C into V2 minus D into I2. This is about the third parameter, transmission parameter. Other name is ABCD parameter. Now coming to the last one, H parameter. Okay. See the matrix form. we have two equations again. One equation is for V1, other equation for I2. So for V1, this row into column. Okay, row into column. H11 into I1 plus H12 into V2. This is the first equation. Next, second equation, I2 equation is this row into column. Okay, so H21 into I1 plus H22 into V2. This row matrix, it is very easy. From 9th class, you know how to do the matrix multiplication. Okay, when I say row into column, you understand how to make the equation. So second row is H21, H22, and then the column is I1, V2. You are going to multiply the second row with this column. So you will get H21 into I1 plus H22 into V2. Okay, this is how you write the equations. And block diagram, if you draw the block diagram, input side you will have this parameters. Wait 1 minute. I will go with the block diagram. This tabular column you by heart compulsory. Second half of the fourth unit, you by heart this tabular column. Whenever you see two-port network, write this complete table. Now I am going with the block diagram. First one is I told Z parameter, second one Y parameter, third one ABCD parameter, fourth one is H parameter. Okay. Now this is the block diagram for first one, Z parameter. You see here V1, I1 are the input side, V2, I2 are the output side. V1, I1, V2, I2. You see here V1, okay, I1. Then V2, I2. Okay, these are the, already we know it. V1, I1 means first port or input port. V2, I2 means second port or output port. You draw this diagram, you have to create some magic in the answer paper. Okay, so this diagram is very easy. If you draw this diagram, people will understand that you have some knowledge. It looks like this diagram. Z parameter block diagram will be like this. You are showing that you know you have some knowledge on it. Okay, diagram is very easy. When you put it in paper, other person, the person who is correcting will understand you have some knowledge on this. Okay, now Z parameter block diagram completed. Now I am going with Y parameter block diagram. Y parameter block diagram. This is Y parameter. I1, I2 are important. We are going to write equation for I1, I2. Okay. And then third one block. These are the equations I told you from the matrix form. When we write equations, it will come out like this only. I told you row into column, write down. This equations only I was trying to do it. Okay. Now third one is ABCD parameter. Again, you draw similar block diagram ABCD parameter. It is tilted. You see here ABCD parameter. Okay, block diagram for ABCD parameter. Again, input side V1, I1, output side V2, I2 only. All the four parameters, input side V1, I1 only, output side V2, I2 only. But equations will differ. How to write the equations? From the matrix form, I told you, row into column, you write down, these equations will come. Okay. Any parameters, two-port network, any parameters asked, you write that complete table. Now you show this block diagram. Okay, show this block diagram and write the equations. I told you row into column, you have to do those equations. You write down. These are the equations when you write row into column. Okay, ABCD parameters completed. Next, H parameters. This is inverse ABCD. H parameters. In H parameters also block diagram. Input side V1, I1, output side V2, I2. When you write the matrix form into equations, these are the two equations that will come out. Okay. And this is the matrix form I have written in the first page. Row into column, if you write, first equation will come. Row into column, if you write, second equation will come. Okay. First equation is for V1, second equation for I2. Okay. These three, if you put together, it looks like very good. Block diagram is there, matrix form is there, and equation is there. Okay. This complete is H parameter related information. Now, I have discussed the basics, okay, 30% of the second half. From the matrix form, how to write the block diagram and how to write the equations I discussed. Next, I am going with problems. Okay, if equations are there, you see here, Z parameter means another 5 minutes I will take. Okay, after that I will close. Another 5 minutes I will take. Now, these are the equations we got for Z parameter. These are the equations we got for Z parameter. Now, if you put I1 0, what happens? I1 0, the first term will go 0. First term will become 0. And you will get V1 equal to Z12 into I2. If you make Z12 as subject, it will come V1 divided by I2. V1 divided by I2. You are able to find the value for Z12. Okay, you are creating some formulas. You are creating some formulas. Now, if you put I2 equal to 0, I2 equal to 0, second term will vanish. Second term will vanish. Then formula for Z11 is V1 by I1. Formula for Z21 is V2 by I1. Okay, because you are putting I2 0, so you are getting the formulas for Z11 and Z21. Okay, so like that from the equations, you will get 4 formulas. What are those 4 formulas? Equation for Z11, equation for Z12, equation for Z21, equation for Z22. Okay, so what I told, those 4 formulas you can see here. If you put I2 equal to 0, you are getting 2 formulas. If you put I1 equal to 0, you are getting 2 formulas. Okay, this also you can write. Once the equations are ready, you substitute I1 0, 2 formulas will come. You substitute I2 0, 2 formulas will come. 4 formulas for Z parameter. Similarly, when equations are there for Y parameters, Y parameter 2 equations from the matrix form, you are able to write now. These are the 2 equations from the matrix form. You are able to write 2 equations. Now substitute V1 equal to 0, you will get formulas for Y12, Y22. If you substitute V2 equal to 0, you will get formulas for Y11 and Y21. Okay, how? These are the 4 formulas. In the equation, when you are putting V2 equal to 0, these are the 2 formulas you are getting. When you put V1 equal to 0, these are the 4 formulas you are getting from Y parameters. Similarly, ABCD parameters, Z parameter also, you put appropriately right side the independent variable as 0. So you will get 4 formulas in ABCD, 4 formulas in H parameter. Okay. So any parameter they are asking, you can write the matrix form, you can write the block diagram. From matrix form, write the equation. After writing equation, substitute the independent parameter 0 and get the 4 formulas. How many things you can do? Okay. H parameter means block diagram, matrix form, equation, then 4 formulas. ABCD means block diagram, the matrix form, equation, and 4 formulas. Okay. So 4 things you are able to easily recap that single table if you by heart. 4 things you are able to write for each of the parameters. Z parameter 4 things you are writing. Y also 4 things you are writing. What are the 4 things? Block diagram, matrix form, equations, then 4 formulas. Okay. So with that, if you write in that these things in answer paper, some marks you will get. So we are trying to cross the border. Okay. Our first headache is to clear this network analysis and throw it away. Okay. Remaining things in depth means maximum marks means that is extra effort. That is secondary. But today our discussion is just to clear the paper and throw it out. Okay. And these things you write, you are reaching close to the border marks. Okay. Next, I will discuss very small, easy problems. If you get some problems like this. Okay. You see here, this is the first problem. This is the first problem. I discussed all the 4 parameters. Okay. 4 parameters and what all you are possibly can write in the answer paper that I have discussed. Now I'm going with the problems. If you get some problems like this, okay, this is like a T model. This is like a T model. Okay. You have 4 parameters in Z, 4 parameters in Z. What are that? Z11 is there, Z12 is there, Z21 is there, Z22 is there. Okay. Instead of getting the 4 formulas and substituting all that, the shortcut if T network is there. Shortcut if T network is there. These are resistors. In the problem, they will give 5 ohms, 3 ohms, 10 ohms like that. If you add these 2 at the input side, this is the value for Z11. Okay. If you add these 2 values at the output side, this is the formula for Z22. And minus ZB is the value for Z12 and Z21. Okay. You see here, it is very clear. I have given in very short note. I have given in very short. You can see here how to calculate Z11 value, ZA plus ZB. These 2 if you add, Z11 will come. Okay. Then ZB plus ZC. If you add these 2, Z22 will come. You see here Z22 formula is there. Z22. Z22, it is addition of ZB plus ZC. Okay. So Z11 completed, Z22 completed. Z11 completed, you got the value by adding ZA plus ZB. Z22, you got the answer by adding the value ZB plus ZC. Okay. Next, what about Z12 and Z21? It is minus ZB. If T network is there, directly you remember this for this information and calculate all the four values of Z. Okay. Now Z12, it is minus ZB. You can see here plus ZB, not minus, plus ZB. Z21, it is plus ZB. Z12 also, it is plus ZB. Minus is not there, it is in Y parameter. For the pi network in Y parameter. In the T network for Z parameter. Okay, if T network is there, all the four values you can calculate directly. Okay, all the four values in the equation. Z values, all the four Z values in the equation, you can calculate easily when T network comes. Okay, now and the Y parameters they are asking to calculate how to go about it. I had one problem. Okay. This is like pi network in the center. Okay. If this 1 ohm is not there, I'm making it short. This is another problem. Actually, I had another pi network problem with Z parameter. You assume this one is not there. You assume this one is not there. Only these three values are there. It looks like a pi parameter. Okay. You know the equations for Y. You know the equations for Y parameter. If Y11 is required, add this two. Okay. Y22 is required, add this side, this two. Okay. Y12, Y21 required, this is minus 2. This is YA, YB, YC. YA, YB, YC. Okay. YA plus YB is nothing but Y11. YB plus YC is nothing but Y22. And minus YB is nothing but Y12 and Y21 value is minus YB only. If pi network is there, very easy to calculate Y parameter values. Okay. Pi network is there, very easy to calculate Y parameter values. Then ABCD parameter, ABCD, I don't know whether problem is there here. No problem. Another PDF problem is there. Whatever I told you now, okay, you go through a glance. I will send you the record.